Thank you so much for joining today. Let's start today's practice coming into a comfortable seated position. Maybe that is on a pillow or a block. Maybe your legs are in a crisscross applesauce. They could also be extended out. You could have your back resting up against a surface if you'd like. But whether or not it's resting against a surface, you want to keep your spine very straight, lifting from the top of your head, allowing the shoulders to purposefully relax. Maybe you allow your eyes to close, or maybe you simply soften your gaze. As we try to remember that these next moments together is simply for you, and that you have complete control. I'll be giving you a lot of choices as I try to guide you. But give yourself permission to adjust, to modify, to change altogether. It may be overwhelming sometimes, all the choices you might have in your mind, hard to decide. Tuning into self-compassion means listening to your inner wisdom and awareness. You don't have to do what I'm doing or saying. And I hope you won't feel rigid as you're trying to decide. Maybe you can try to listen, to go within, and move intuitively to the cues and how your body wants to move today. Moving with steadiness and ease while in the posture and holding it, and transitioning with steadiness and ease from pose to pose. Building your awareness practice. Maybe you can even guide yourself to your edge and then breathe there with kindness towards yourself in each posture. Breathe to calm the nervous system. And maybe even welcome everything, the physical, the breath, maybe the frustration or the joy. Whatever comes up, acknowledge it, accept it, as this is the first step in self-compassion and kindness towards ourselves. Continue to breathe steadily. We'll start to focus in on the breath itself, taking a nice, long, steady breath in. And at the top of this next breath in, we'll pause, holding the air in for as long as feels good in our lungs today. Be for a count of 10. You might not even want to count, just holding that breath for as long as feels good. And then before it starts to feel like a struggle, exhaling out, slow, steady, smooth. And then repeating that cycle, breathing in, pausing, holding that air after that deep listening breath, that moment of silence, that moment of stillness before you continue your exhale. So we continue that breath. There's a difference in what we do and how we exist. The Western world puts value on doing more. Busyness is seen as a sign of success The practice of meditation is sitting in stillness, resting in non-doing, and just simply being. We get to know ourselves better in that stillness. Doing oftentimes is a distraction to our spirit, pulling us away from what our spirit wants us to hear. Let us find the beauty in not doing anything at all. Let us rest in the magic of being and listening to the Spirit speak. So as we sit here in stillness, tapping into that deep listening breath, see if you can let go of the need to do anything and take this moment to rest in your being. Simply existing breath to breath, moment to moment. Beautiful job. You're still taking that deep listening breath. Finish out this current round and then allow your breath to find a more natural rhythm, more natural flow. Throughout our practice, you may want to revisit that deep listening breath as a mental focus or a way to start to calm the nervous system as we practice. We'll take one last moment here to offer ourselves just a little bit of gratitude for something in our lives this week that we need to give ourselves some credit for. Be anything at all. And then as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter the eyes open. And we'll start to add some gentle movement into our practice. So we'll start first by separating the feet if we were in crisscross applesauce and bringing them into a butterfly position with the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. And you are always welcome to add some blocks under the knees as we're just starting to open up here. We don't want to get too intense into those inner hips just yet, but we are going to want to stretch them and work them out because we're going to be doing lots of hip work today. And we'll start by taking our hands and bringing them down towards our inner soles of our feet, maybe the arches of the feet, and giving them a gentle massage with our thumbs and our fingers. You can work up to the balls of your feet and around the toes, or even back to the heel. Just giving yourself a moment here. Coming back into your breath as you do. Great job. Go ahead and make sure you have a nice tall spine here, releasing that massage of the feet. And as we inhale, we'll let the arms float up. Maybe the gaze floats up as well. And then as we exhale, we're gonna bring the arms out wide to a T. Let the palms face forward. As we inhale, sit up a little taller. And then as you exhale, hinge forward and start to circle the arms to touch extended in front of the body. Inhale to bring it back up. Exhale to lean it in. Now we should be making this movement from our core muscles. Noticing how that feels. That lean might be just a tiny lean or it might be a big lean. But you're doing great. We're just getting the core a little warmed up here. Last time, inhale up. So arms circle up. And then as we exhale, we'll circle the hands back behind us, giving us a little support through the spine. We're gonna then separate the soles of the feet, bringing them to the floor, bending through the knees. Feet are a little bit wider than hip distance. We're in a frog seat, and you're welcome to always peel those toes up off the mat, pulling them back towards your shins, really getting into those calves here. You're doing great. We're gonna take one more big breath here, pressing into the hands, lifting the heart, maybe lifting the chin. All right, if you lifted the toes, go ahead and bring them back to the mat and let the knees come out, straightening just a little bit as we windshield wiper through the knees. We're gonna go left to right, rolling through the hips. Noticing how that feels. All right, go ahead and come back to a straight spine, pressing out of the hands and bringing them up towards the knees. We're gonna send the left leg long, but keep that right knee bent and kind of hugged in towards your chest. We're gonna bring our right hand either inside or outside the leg, whatever feels more supported for you. And then begin to twist that left hand back behind you a little or a lot, lifting it overhead. Great job. Release that left hand to your extended left leg. Tuck the right knee and the right foot into the left leg. And then we're going to take both hands on the outside of that right leg as we begin to twist our gaze in between the hands. We're taking a counter twist through the torso. Great job. Come back to a straight spine. Allow that left hand to rest either on the ground, the leg, or a prop along that left leg. And then we're going to start to circle that right hand up and over, taking it into a beautiful side bend. Inhale, come back to a straight spine. And let's take that on the other side. So we first bring that left knee into the bend with the sole of the foot on the floor. And we'll send the right leg out long. So we're really opening up this inner hip here. Again, that left arm can be inside that left leg or outside the left leg, whatever feels better. It can be on the ground or on a block. But then as you're ready, start to twist that right hand up and behind you. If your left arm is inside that left leg, you're using it to press against the elbow, helping assist in the twist. The hand is on the outside, pressing me into the inner arm, same thing, helping support that twist. Exhale to release through center. Tuck the left foot into the right thigh. Turn over towards that left side of the mat. Placing your hands on the floor or prop, and you bring your gaze in between the hands, taking that beautiful counter twist through the spine. Inhale to come back through a straight spine, and then we're going to take that right hand along the right leg, floor, leg, or prop, as we start to send the left arm up and over. Beautiful. Let's come back through center. Our next exhale, we're going to come back into our crisscross, but switch which leg has in front or on top if you took that crisscross last time. We'll send the arms out wide. Then exhale, we'll bring the right arm under the left arm, and we'll start to hug the hands back towards the shoulders, reaching them back a little at a time. Or maybe taking it into eagle arms, letting the backs of the hands come together, maybe the fronts of the hands touch. Or if you like to use a strap, you can bring a strap in between the hands. Something long and skinny, anything from a sock to a robe belt would work as well. If you don't have an official yoga strap. We'll take just a few breaths here as we really feel those shoulder blades start to spread here. Keeping the spine straight, the top of the head lifting towards the ceiling. Exhale to release. This time, opposite arms, left arm or right arm under left right, whichever one it was. Switch it up. Feel your breath. Beautiful job. With our next exhale, we'll release, arms come out to a T, then inhale them up overhead. And with an exhale, we'll bring them down through a prayer pose to heart center. And then let's come on over onto hands and knees. Coming into a tabletop position. Hands are directly under shoulders, knees are directly under hips. And then we'll take just a couple of cat cows as we start to move through the spine, dropping that belly as we inhale, and then exhaling, curling chin to chest and rounding through the spine. Beautiful job. Start to come into your stillness, back into tabletop. We'll shift the weight back just a little bit and then bring that right foot up on the outside of the right hand. So the hands are inside of the foot. And you're welcome to even come up onto blocks on the hands if you'd like. We're gonna keep that left leg back and down. We're gonna start to shift the hips down. So we're in a lizard lunge, a low lizard lunge here. And you're welcome to keep your sole of the foot flat on the mat, or maybe you start to explore letting your knee fall out to the side and rolling onto the edge of that foot. You can always stay high on the hands, or you could drop down onto the elbows, coming into a sleeping lizard as we really open up through that inner right hip. Beautiful job. Walk your hands back under your shoulders if you came down onto elbows. Roll the sole of the foot back onto the flat part of the foot. And then let's go ahead and bring that right foot back into tabletop. Switching left foot forward. Exhale, sink it in, letting that foot and knee kind of point to the left. Staying on the sole or rolling it out to the side. Staying high on the hands. Or lowering down to the elbows. You're doing a beautiful job here. Keeping the spine straight by tucking the chin just slightly. And again, that deep listening breath always makes a great focus for the mind. As you hold the poses with steadiness and ease. All right, let's exhale as we transition back into our tabletop. Moving any props out of our way. And then let's take and find our way into a mountain pose. Getting there in any way that feels good for us, taking our own time in our own way. All right, once we're in our mountain pose, we feel that length and extension through the spine. The next inhale, let the arms float up and overhead, reaching them up, 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 maybe taking the gaze to follow. And then with a swan dive, we'll hinge into that forward fold, bringing our hands down to the floor, our legs, or a prop, but keeping a nice generous bend in the knees. The next inhale, press into the hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're gonna pause there, take the left hand directly under the face, bend that left knee, and let's twist out the right hand towards the right side of the room and up. Great job. Exhale to release. Switching sides, bending through opposite knee. Take it up and around. Left hand reaches. Exhale to release, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, take a slow roll, coming all the way back up to your mountain. Inhaling, tall mountain reaches up, arms lift. And then let's drop our right hand down by the right leg. You can have it on the hip or just let it dangle by the right hip. And then let it start to lean over to the right side. Great job. Inhale to come back through center. Take it to the left. Inhale, come back through center. This time we're going to twist from the hips. We're going to come to arms to a T, one arm in front of us, one arm behind us, palms forward. Inhale through center, take it to the left side, same motion. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, cactus those arms. Beautiful job. Inhale, bring it up. And let's bring it down through a mountain pose. Great job. Feel free to take any type of movement that you'd like. For this next sequence, we're gonna take a little bit of a balance challenge. I like to use a strap, maybe a wall to help with this one, but it's up to you what you would like to use. We can use none of these things or all of these things. If you're using a prop for stability, go ahead and have it on your left side because we're gonna do our right side first. We're gonna start by shifting our weight to the left, letting our right knee start to float up to hip height. Now you're welcome to stay right here with a strap or hand around your knee for the entire sequence. Or at some point, we may extend the leg as well. All righty, we have the knee in the hand or the strap of the right side, and then we're going to take it out to the right, opening the knee to the right just a little bit. Great job. Now come back through center and take the knee, point it over towards the left. Great job. We'll come back through center. Go ahead and let that foot come down to the floor. Now working on our birds of paradise today. All that hip work we've been working into. We're going to try maybe extending the leg. Same side. Again, you're welcome to just keep that bent knee version if that feels good for you. If you're taking the extended leg version, we'll start to send that foot out in front of us. You can always have a gentle bend in the knee, as much of one as you want. Or you can start to press out through the heel, straightening it out. Any point you want to come and touch back down, feel free to do so. Now your foot might only be hovering a couple inches off the floor. You might have it all the way up to hip height. It's your body. Find what feels good for you. All right, let's open it out to the side. Now again, you can have your hand on a prop. You can have your hand out as a back counterbalance. You want to be mindful that your torso is not leaning though. So wherever you're at, you want to keep your torso tall. You're doing great. A nice bend in the standing knee. All right, go ahead and bring that leg back through center. And just like we did with the knee, we're going to take it over to the left side this time, pointing it away from us. Beautiful birds of paradise. Come back through center, drop it down, take any movement you need. And feel free to switch sides if you want support on your right side this time. As we shift the weight to the right, we pull up the left knee. We open it to the left side. We draw it through center to the right side. Noticing how that feels through that outer hip. Great job. Bring it back through center. Again, maybe you stay with the knee version, or maybe you start to Take the extended leg version. We inhale when you're ready, left leg or knee rises. As we exhale, we open it to the side, trying to work that spine straight though. You're doing great. One more breath on this side. Our exhale takes it back through center and then over to the right. Back through center to release. Beautiful. Take any movement your body needs. That was a lot of ankle, knee, hip work. So feel free to take any movement that you need. All right. We're not quite done with those hips yet. We're going to keep working on them. And for this next sequence, you may want to have a block towards the front of your space or another prop. We'll come into our mountain pose. Let's inhale, circle arms up and overhead. With our exhale, we'll drop the right, lean to the right. Come back through center, lean to the left. Back through center, twisting to the right. Through center, we twist to the left. Back through center with an exhale, we hinge into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Alrighty, from here, let's step the left foot back for a high lunge. We're gonna keep that back knee lifted. Both knees are gonna start to come to a bend. And as you're ready, start to straighten the spine. You can bring your hands to a prop for support. You can keep them on your front knee, and bring them to a prayer. Or as always, you can send them into that crescent lunge, shooting those hands up high towards the air. Your next exhale, maybe sink it down just a little bit more into your lunge. Great job. And then let's windmill the arms. We're going to start to bring them towards that prop, or more than one prop if you'd like. We're going to shift our weight into that front leg, maybe adjust where it's at, and start to lift the back toes for a grounded warrior three. And you can keep the toes touching. They can lift just a couple of inches, or they can lift up to hip height. Beautiful job. Your gaze stays straight down. And then take your right hand and move it so it's in line with that right foot directly under your face. We're going to start to turn and open that top hip and maybe start to send that left arm up towards the ceiling as we come into a half moon pose. Beautiful job. Let the left hand come back down to meet the right. Let the hips flatten back parallel to the earth. Step it back, crescent lunge. Once you've found your foundation, straighten both legs. And let's take a bind behind the back, either hands on hips, holding your shirt, opposite wrist or opposite elbows. And then begin to hinge forward over that front knee. If you're finding it strong in the ligament of the knee, bring a bend into the knee. Now you're always welcome to keep your hands on your hips in this pyramid pose, or maybe you start to lift them off your hips. If you'd like just a little bit more stability, release the bind, bringing the hands down to a prop. You're always welcome to walk that back foot in just a little bit. Beautiful job. As we inhale, we look up, halfway lift, and then let's step that back foot in, mountain pose. Inhale, tall mountain. All right, we're going to add just a little bit to our side bend. So take your left foot back, let it step back just about a foot and come up onto the ball of your foot. And then drop that right hand, lean to the right. Come back through center, step it up. Left, right foot back, left lean. Right foot back through center. This time we're going to lift our right knee as we turn to the right. You can capture the right knee with your left hand if you'd like. You can also set it on a prop if there's one nearby for more stability. Inhale through center. Exhale, twisting to the left as we lift that left leg. Inhale through center. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now let's take our crescent lunge sequence on the left side, stepping that right foot back. We come into our high lunge. Taking time to build our foundation from the ground up. You're feeling wobbly, widen your stance. Take it onto train tracks and not a rail, take it on train tracks and not a balance beam. And maybe when you're ready, lifting arms up by the ears. Squeezing thigh muscles towards each other. We keep this very active. You're doing a great job. Exhale, grounded warrior three. Hands come to prop. Shift your weight to the front leg. Begin to lift right toes off the mat. A little or a lot. Keeping the gaze straight down. Now you're always welcome to stay right here. Like you'd like to start to take that half moon pose. Begin by opening up your right hip. Starting to take that right hand across the torso, lifting it up towards the ceiling. Stacking wrist and shoulders. Keeping the spine straight. Last breath here. Exhale to release, right hand to meet left, hips come parallel to the ground. Exhale, step it back. Crescent lunge on your inhale. Exhale, sink it a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach the hands behind. Switch your grip of your bind as you draw your knuckles down. Exhaling to hinge over that front leg, pyramid pose. Hands can come down and stay on the hips, or can lift overhead for that shoulder stretch. Great job. Exhale to release hands. Inhale to drop them towards a prop. And then let's step that back foot in, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tall mountain to release. Exhale, bring it down through a prayer into your mountain pose. All right, let's take our feet a little bit wider than hip distance for this next few movements. We'll have the toes out and the heels in. We're not at our full widest position just yet, but we're taking it wider than hip distance. And as we inhale, let's take a 5-pointed star, reaching arms up. Then exhale, let's bend into the knees, bend into the elbows, our goddess squat. Take a movement here. Maybe you rock a little back and forth or bounce. Maybe you lift heels. Any movement that you need here. Really getting into these open hips that we've been working on today. Now, at any point during the sequence, feel free to find your 5-pointed star and then join us back whenever you're ready. Let's sink it a little bit deeper. Great job. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And now we're going to take it into a one-legged squat towards the back of our space. You can bring your hand to your knee. You can bring it to maybe a prop on the floor. It's up to you. Come back through center, 5-pointed star. Exhale, squat one-legged to the left, front of your mat. Take it at your pace, inhaling big, exhaling to sink in. A little or a lot. Now, if you're keeping your hand either on your knee or a prop, or maybe your heart in a prayer, those are all some great options. If you're going down really deep, feel free to play with lifting heels or toes as feels appropriate. You're doing great. Make sure you're not just chugging through these so fast that you're not feeling them. You're not noticing what's going on in your own body. All right, last one on each side. Inhale through 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess squat, bend in the knees, bend into the elbows. But then this time, let's drop our hands towards our inner thighs. Fingertips pointing down. Then we're going to take some spinal twists. So we'll drop our right shoulder as we look over our left. We'll come back through center, take it to the other side. Take this at your own pace for just a few breaths. Really wringing out the spine here. Great job. Balance out both sides. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Go ahead and move the heels in line with the toes. So that should widen the legs just a little bit. And with an exhale, we'll hinge into a forward fold. Bringing our head down towards the mat. Great job. Take one last breath here. Maybe sink it a little bit deeper. Inhale into the hands, halfway lift. 5-pointed star. Exhale, step it in, mountain pose. Exhale, rain it down for your forward fold. Begin to bend the knees so deeply that the hands come down towards the mat. Your hips come down towards your heels. Maybe you're a little bit on a toe stand. And then go ahead, coming through a tabletop, to come down into a Sphinx pose, bringing the elbows under the shoulders. The body's long. Your hands can be shoulder distance apart or even wider. And then take a moment to drop your chin to your chest, opening up through the neck. And then inhale to lift the chin. Take it up and down just a few cycles of breath. You begin to explore how this feels through the neck. Next time the chin is at the chest, pause there, and then take the chin over towards the right shoulder. Back through center towards the left shoulder. Take it left to right a couple of times. And then from here, feel free to take any movement your neck would like, or any holding your neck would like. You're welcome to do full circles in one direction and then the other, or any other movement or holding that feels good for you as we explore our neck for just this last moment. All righty, finding a little bit of stillness through the neck and shoulders. We're going to shift our weight over to the left and start to bring a 90-degree-ish bend into our right knee and ankle. We're feeling a little constricted here, bringing a pillow or a block under the opposite, the left hip, will help create just a little bit more space for your body. We're in a half frog here. You can stay on those elbows, or you're also welcome to make a pillow out of your arms and come down onto your left ear. Beautiful. Beautiful breath on that right side. We'll extend that leg out long, shift the weight to the right hip, maybe switch a prop if we're using a prop, and then start to bend through that left knee, flexing that left ankle, coming into your half broad on the left hip, resting right ear on the mat. Beautiful job. Last breath here. Extending the left leg long. We'll then roll over onto our back. And if we're using a strap for our birds of paradise earlier, you might think about bringing that strap back as we turn over close back. Now you're always welcome to bring your legs into that constructive rest with the knees bent, the soles of the feet on the floor, or you can also send the legs out long. It's up to you what feels better for your lower back. But we'll start by bringing that right knee and hugging it in towards our chest. Again, using our strap or our hand as feels appropriate. And let's take an ankle roll on that right ankle. And then reverse it. Taking your knee or your strap in your right arm, allow that right knee to fall out to the right side, opening up. Bring it back through center, then we're going to take the extended leg version of Birds of Paradise, starting to extend the foot towards the ceiling, point the toes away from you, holding the leg with your strap or your hand. You're doing beautiful. The next exhale, we're going to take that leg or strap into our right hand. Begin to let the right leg fall out to the right side. Now you can let it come to about a 45-degree angle, a 60-degree angle. You can let it just hover right off of the mat just a little bit, or anywhere in between that feels good for you. Maybe bringing your left hand to your left hip is a gentle reminder to keep that hip planted and not roll onto the right side. Beautiful job. Now inhale, bring that leg up through center. We're going to switch it over to the left hand. And we're going to take it across the center line of the body. Now it's up to you where it feels like a good stretch for you. Sometimes a micro movement across can really set that IT band on fire, and you're welcome to stay there if that feels like a great stretch for you. You can keep going until you're at more of an angle. You can even bring that foot so it's just hovering off the ground and deeper twist. It's up to you what feels good for your body in this Birds of Paradise today. Beautiful job. Let's bring it back through center. And then we're going to point the toes away, remove a strap if you're using a strap, and then slowly lower that foot down to the mat, controlling the movement with your abdominal muscles. And then we'll switch sides, hugging left knee in towards the chest, taking those ankle rolls a few times in one direction, and then the other direction. Letting the left knee fall out to the left side, opening up through that inner hip. Inhale to bring it back through center, capturing the foot with the strap if you're using it, or holding the back of the leg as you send the foot towards the ceiling. Birds of Paradise. Beautiful job. Capturing left leg or strap in your hand, left hand. Start to let that open out to the side, a little or a lot. Inhale to bring it through center, capturing it with the right hand, taking it across the center line of the body, a little or a lot. Noticing how different this pose is from the laying down position once we take the element of balance out, we're allowed to really focus on the stretch through the hips in the inner groin. Inhale to bring it back through center, releasing the strap. Slow descent. Beautiful. Come back into a constructive rest, no matter where your legs are at. Widen the feet wider than hip distance. Windshield wiper the knees left to right. Beautiful job. With the next inhale, we'll bring both knees in towards our chest, curling into a ball. You can keep the head on the mat, or you can lift it up, bring nose towards your knees. Take a few rocks from side to side, or even along the spine here, giving yourself one final massage. And then as you're ready, we'll start to find our way into our final resting pose. Today, you may want to take the legs up the wall. That can be a great option for a resting pose. Or maybe taking corpse pose or constructive rest. Feel free to add any pillows or any blocks, maybe a blanket or a sweater. You're welcome to cover the eyes or add some socks. Really make any movements or adjustments so that you can start to relax on command. As you settle in, feel free to close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. Allow your breath to be a little longer and more intentional with each cycle. And as we start our final few moments here together, our meditation, we'll remember that we have nothing else to do and nowhere else to be other than right here, right now, in this beautiful, simple moment. We'll begin to imagine that we're resting under a big, vibrant, in all its springtime glory, tree. This tree may be one you've been to many times before, or maybe only here in your imagination today. This tree is beautiful, large, quite healthy. If you took a moment to look at its bark, it would look like a maze of beauty. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the trunk is so massive that maybe you can't even wrap your arms all the way around it. The roots, you can't even see them, but they run so deep, so wide, that no amount of wind or rain would ever be able to sway it. Maybe you envision yourself firmly grounded here, rooted even, resting next to this majestic tree. Can you sense yourself sitting upright, growing taller and taller with each inhale? Do you see the sun shining high and bright in the sky? As the warmth of the sun kisses your face, you imagine the beautiful, warm, bright sunlight extending its rays down your extremities, like the branches and leaves on that tree. The sun, like your spirit, exactly your inner being that knows exactly who you are at your core and loves you wholly. As you feel this love from your spirit beaming down on your face, you allow this love in. You feel it absorbing into your skin as it flows deep into your torso, filling you up completely. Now we turn our attention to the sky itself, imagining the beautiful blue sky all around you. Here you are resting under this amazing and magnificent tree, standing ever so tall in this beautiful, lush, natural environment, completely alone in thoughts. In this amazingly peaceful and tranquil place. The sky is like our mind. As we work to quiet our mind, we imagine our thoughts like the clouds. They may be scattered throughout our sky, or you may see one here and there. Big, beautiful, puffy clouds of big, beautiful, puffy thoughts that filter in and out of our minds. Do your best to try to envision the blue sky clearing. The thoughts are there, but the goal is to imagine floating around them. If you have something heavy weighing on your mind, those clouds might be a little darker, heavier. Try your best to work your way around them as well. You can float around or even above them until you can reconnect to the sunlight. You can even visualize the clouds literally parting for you as the sun shines through once more. The sun nourishes you in that big, beautiful tree. Can you find appreciation in this moment, for this moment? Can you find appreciation for the feeling of being grounded and centered? We know the sun and rain have made both us and this tree who we are today. We become stronger each and every day because whether we see it or not, the sun is always there, shining, helping us grow. The storm clouds fuel our desire for more. And we need rain to survive, just like the tree. We stand tall and strong, without judgment of any of the trees beside us. You are unique and beautiful in your own ways. Your branches and roots are like no other. You are strong. You are healthy. And you are oh so vibrant as you rest in stillness for just a moment longer under the tree, noticing all the beauty that surrounds you. Continuing to breathe rhythmically. As we take the deepest breath of our day so far, I want you to allow the image of the tree to start to fade from your mind. As you feel the support of the ground underneath you right in this moment. You begin to feel the temperature of the air touching your skin. And in your own time, in your own way, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, fluttering the eyes open. If you're in legs up the wall, we'll bring them down the wall. And in your own time and in your own way, we'll come up to an upright position facing you. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such an honor to lead you through this practice of stillness with a little bit of mindful movement thrown in as well. I hope you have a great week ahead of you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much.